Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is as you watch this. Welcome to Living World of Darkness, New York. We are gathering this evening as an individual has been posting up signs inviting the people of the Queens community to gather together with the message that if you see something, say something. Because of how dangerous our streets have been getting, everybody can make a difference. And to meet at the Queens Community and Child Center asking for Sergeant Hoyt. So the meeting room at the community center is fairly packed. A lot of blue-collar workers, a lot of low-income individuals from the community, as well as a couple representatives from the local police detachment. And at the front of the room, as everyone's kind of gathering and taking their seats, is a very elderly man who's again wearing his military uniform that he had dug out of the closet for Veterans Day earlier this week. And he's kind of surveying the crowd as people come in because he is curious to see what individuals have been attracted to this, and he unfortunately does not pick up on any ambient mystical energies. So he kind of starts to motion for people to take their seats. There's a lot of background chatter in the room but people are kind of getting together as he stands up at the front and tries to stand himself up straight. Hello, hello. He's tapping on the board, fiddles with the microphone a little bit. There's a loud, piercing shriek in the air, which definitely gets everybody's attention. He kind of sets the mic to the side and starts bellowing loud enough for people in the room to hear. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming and meeting this evening. I'm Sergeant Hoyt. I know that there's been a lot of concern. We've had quite a rash of attacks lately. We've had, well, the streets just aren't safe. We've had libraries burning to the ground. We've had maulings in Central Park. Last week there were some lunatic hanging bodies from light posts, and it's not right, and we need to make sure that everybody is helping each other out, because we're a community. 10, 13 years ago, we banded together when our city was under attack with the motto, if you see something, say something. And we did very well by that, and we took a stand internationally. But now we've got our own problems in our own lands. We've got criminals, we've got people from fancy limos coming down and luring our kids away and making them do all sorts of terrible things. It's not right. So I'm suggesting we set up a stronger neighborhood watch. I'm not advocating vigilantism. I'm saying let's keep an eye out for each other. If we see something suspicious, let people know. Call 911 if you see something that is obviously dangerous. If you see someone getting mugged in the streets or stuffing an unconscious body behind a dumpster, don't keep this to yourself. Don't turn a blind eye. That's the New York of old. We need to we're a big family. We're neighbors. And look out for each other. And as he's going through and trying to impress upon everybody, I'm just going to see how receptive people are being to my speech outside of you three. And I'm getting at least some favorable response. So different individuals. Sorry, recording. Perception awareness. Okay, so let's see if I notice that.
That'll just be you are aware that there's a person there. There's lots of people there. He still won't say more than normal. It's just you won't even notice him in the room if you don't get 4 successes versus the hide.
Okay, but that is that. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat there. So that is a roll that's possible to make.
Yeah, that's a roll you can. Oh, you can make that. Any of you guys, you guys can make that. Any of you guys who have mind shields, I was talking about it with the Hunter ST, and just because like, oh wait, that might come up next scene. You could probably roll as well as doing that dice pool. You could roll like your mind shield, and that might help if you get to pick 2 rolls. You pick the better of the 2.
Hey,
because
also,
yeah.
Lolo?
you already there?
You can consider Jericho in the midst of the crowd, just sitting to himself, watching and listening to the auditor.
Can he see the door?
If I turn my head, yeah.
Okay. Because you're gonna see Operator 5 sticking his head in the door, looking at the crowd, seeing you, and waving you about outside.
He's doing what now?
Is Jericho dazed?
Say again?
He's waving at you. He is waving at you from the back.
Oh, okay, okay.
Is Jericho disguised, or does he look normal?
No, he
Like
looks
normal.
He's actually wearing but he's wearing slacks. He's wearing a button-up shirt. He's wearing a blue tie. As he just goes over and looks at Operator 5, waves back, and sort of ushers him over.
Yeah, he's gonna gesture for you to come outside, and then he's gonna go back out the door.
Okay.
Because at the ice cream truck, the tall black man that accompanies him places, Tony, is actually helping him pull folding tables out of the back of the ice cream truck. He needs help.
Okay. Jericho's going to go ahead and politely excuse himself from the row of folding chairs and just sideswipe the row, trying to step on many people. Follow Operator 5 outside to where apparently we have folding chairs. Jericho.
No, tables.
Sorry,
Excuse me.
tables.
Tables.
I still like to pester you for a moment because I succeed on my discern roll.
Yeah.
I try to know what the hell that thing is at the podium is. I have the correct type of lore, as you know already. Because that could lead to an interesting conversation if I succeed. No. Not much, just a fail.
Alright. Fair dues.
So I'm like, I have no idea what he is.
He is weird. He is strange. What?
Yeah.
In any case.
So,
Okay.
when Jericho comes outside, Operator 5, she's handing him bags of barbecue from a barbecue joint on the other side of Queens. Like, yeah, I should have brought more people. And, yeah, so while you're finishing giving the speech, Jake, they're going to be setting up food tables in the back.
Okay.
Okay, Jericho is apparently being fairly charitable and volunteering his time tonight.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jericho is the primordial essence. He's just going to go with it.
I will gesture to the gentleman at the back and say, see, that's the kind of neighborly thought thinking that we need. Everybody, thank these gentlemen. They've brought meals, refreshments for everybody. I mean, that's fantastic. Thank you. And that's what we need. We need a safe harbor for our children to run to if they're scared when they're out in the street. We need to make it so that people feel comfortable and know who their neighbors are. So we recognize when there's strangers intruding in our area. Thank you, gentlemen, for bringing this.
Matt is interested in this from both the mortal and the supernatural side of things because he's actually involved in Neighborhood watching his home borough. So, but he's just around the corner. He's got the camera out as if he's recording, like his camera phone. But at one stage, she goes over Jericho, and just kind of there's a little bit of a small bit of graphical tearing. But he probably it's Arcane 2 will get more fucked up later on. But when it's on the other guy, it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with my phone? You just gotta look at like, what? That vague guy beside him, who is vague. Even every time he takes his eyes off, it keeps resetting.
Basically,
yeah,
you're hitting
and
the
look at
Slenderman graphics.
Yeah. I'll end up on for you with Slenderman graphics. It's just all over the place. Just kind of, the camera keeps shutting off and stuff whenever I point it near the other guy. High cloaking.
I'll also
going with it. He's just going with this insane thing that is going on. He is the primordial essence. Things happen around him. He's just gonna go with it.
Sergeant Hoyt will also he'll actually call the members of the police detachment that came in, and he'll get them to introduce themselves to the crowd. He's like, you guys need to know these officers are here to help. They're not the enemy that the media tries to make them out to be. And so he starts asking them questions about how long they've been serving and how long they've been stationed at the local precinct, and trying to have a conversation with them briefly, but encouraging the people to come up and speak with them afterwards. Like, everybody get up and let's walk around the room, introduce yourself to people you don't know, get to know this is the neighborhood, these are the people that are here that can help you, that can give you the support you need, that can protect you when you need help. I mean, this is our home. This is what we need to defend. And a man determined to defend his home can't be beat by any means, any circumstances. We need that kind of conviction. And you guys, how long does it take for you guys to get the barbecue set up at the back?
Probably finished by the time you get that, because there's 3 of us.
Okay. All right. So I'll. How big is the serving area for the barbecue? So, like, 3 of you guys packed in there, handing food out to people, or?
My retainer, Tony, and Operator 5 will be back there just putting things together and handing them to people to come up. There's more in the truck if we run out. My character may have used all of his discretionary fund this month specifically to buy barbecue.
Charlie's probably going to try and get Jericho while he's by himself. Seeing as there's no immediate threat and he doesn't recognize that there's a demon in the room, because his reaction would be completely different if it's demon recognize that bit. He'll try and see if he can grab Jericho by himself. He's actively attracting Jericho's attention.
Okay, let's say this. After setting up a bunch of the tables and setting up a bit of the barbecue, Jericho walks over to a few of the trash cans to get rid of the greasy plastic wrap when Matt can intercept him.
Yeah, Matt's going to pick greasy bits of plastic as well. He'll go up alongside Jericho and he's like, so I haven't seen you since the, too much since we looked at the homeless shelter. Are those 2 with you? And he'll look somewhat pointedly towards Operator 5 and Sergeant Hoyt.
Quick question.
At age now that he's been noticed, all the guys noticed this guy in the room, but he doesn't stand out. He's normal. I think I put down my successes. If you want to do the pose check now, he's drawn attention to himself. 2 successes on his disguise check, so you might be able to see through it.
What do I throw against that, my good sir?
Perception, as I say.
Perception alertness? Okay.
Yeah. He's specifically trying to inform you about who he is. So you might notice the eyes different or... No.
You've got a pretty good
but
disguise.
I think you know he does this, though. I think you know he does this. He keeps fucking showing up to places with a different face.
Jericho, for his part, is simply going to go ahead and after he's done throwing out the plastic wrap, I have no idea what you're talking about, Matt.
Yeah. Had an interesting conversation with Colin and the others around the cathedral for some reason back, but you don't know those two because they look
Uh,
off. Like he's kind
young,
of up, so people shouldn't overhear.
don't worry, don't worry. The young one is a friendly sort. The one that attends him, the tall man, seems like one of his retainers. But the young one, he's a good sort. He's out. He's looking out for people.
Okay.
Also,
At least we call him.
about the church situation, if you're interested, there's more information to be had there.
It can't drag me back in. I didn't know what was going on. You kind of kick that Christopher guy.
Mm-hmm.
His word means nothing. I didn't know what was going on. He vouched for me. I hadn't spoken 3 words to him. I don't know what's going on with him, but you shouldn't be vouching for people if you don't know them.
Strange. Actually, that is sort of strange. He did cause a bit of violence on the premises. We covered it up pretty well, though.
Please don't tell me you killed anyone.
Nope. Everybody's fine. Everything's cool. People just.
But you didn't perpetrate any violence, because
No.
I know the taser and whatnot.
It was not me this time.
Okay. Please don't do it.
But yeah, apparently at the bottom of the church there are many, many secrets and doorways that lead to hell.
Shall we hello to your friends?
Yeah. If I can make some introductions, and you two can go ahead and take the conversation where it takes you.
I prefer some degree of dialogue between interested parties. It helps avoid conflict.
Yeah, sure. Operator 5 and his retainer, I assume, are serving out this barbecue, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. This is what Jericho's gonna do. Jericho's gonna walk up to Operator 5, just as a friendly sort. Like, nothing in the world is absolutely wrong whatsoever. Smiling from cheek to cheek, he simply looks at number 5 and simply says, my friend, I have somebody to introduce you to. Somebody who's interested in helping out the community.
He'll be putting together another plate, and he'll start to hand it to Matt as they walk out.
Matt will take it.
Jericho will simply say, if you don't mind, I can cover you while you two have a conversation.
Yeah, sure. Tony, you remember Jericho? And, the tall gentleman nods and says hello and hands him a plate and some gloves.
Takes the gloves, puts them on, starts serving out barbecue.
So, operator will pull the gloves off. They're disposable, and drop them in the bin he pulled up beside in case anybody had an accident with their plate. And he'll walk off to the side of Matt. And as he does,
When
he's
okay. Huh? Sorry, no, you go ahead.
As he steps aside, he's going, and my overlay is going to disappear for a minute, guys, to step aside, or out of his pocket, he's going to pull, might be a PDA. If it is, it's a weird-looking PDA, because it looks like this. You can put the picture up now, Google. And he's just going to palm a few buttons while he points the red part in Matt's general direction. Says, "Hi, how you doing?" And he's going to reach over with his right hand, offer to shake it, while he's scanning Matt.
Matt will shake his hand, but I'm assuming like if made a basic success of perception empathy, he'll be like, yeah, he means you no harm. So yeah, he'll be kind of looking oddly at the device, but he'll shake Operator 5's hand.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yep.
Remember, innocent and sanctity. Of course he means you no harm.
Yeah. Yeah, he's okay. You're being cautious. You're doing your different stuff. That's fair. I know what that thing is. Yeah, you can call me Matt. It's the name I go by in circles. You know, and he kind of let things for a moment back on what you said. You know Jericho, as I understand it.
Yeah, he came into my place of business kind of unexpectedly a little while ago. I'm Operator 5, by the way.
Fair enough. It's not like I can give you my real name. Although they're out the front, he's probably looking at the ice cream truck and then looking at Operator 5 and going, "Oh, okay." Yeah, fair enough. You can see him looking at the ice cream. It's like, oh, okay, that's what's going on there. He'll see it once or twice. So, yeah, I know a few other people we like to stay discreet. We don't like to get in anybody else's affairs. First time I ran into Jericho, as you call him, he gotten a bit noisy and got involved in their affairs. Would able to back off, say that they didn't mean to harm.
Yeah, he accidentally walked into my ice cream parlor. Apparently he was a regular customer. I ended up taking him to the basement because I thought he was somebody else. It just got a way of popping up places, I guess.
Okay. Do you know anything about the guy, the Sergeant Hoyt guy?
No, I just saw the flyers, and it's kind of my area. So I think he's actually going to be rifling through one of his pockets. He's going to pull out a business card and hand it to Matt. It's the actual ice cream parlor with the phone number underneath it for the front desk. And he's just going to say, yeah, just call that, and when it goes to the machine, ask for Operator 5, and it'll be through to me automatically.
Okay. And he'll make a note on the back of it, and he'll put it in his pocket for the moment. He goes, yeah, hopefully that, well, Jericho says you two get on relatively well, so that's good.
Yeah, he called me last... Jericho called me last week to make sure I wasn't kidnapping people. So.
Do you normally kidnap people?
We're from opposing political factions, you could say. Ideological differences. When people in suits with sunglasses show up, you're just going to assume it was us. So,
and he kind of smiles and starts nodding his head. Oh, okay. Just like he has a joke that nobody knows what he's not saying, and that's like, okay.
Yeah.
Were you thinking about Sergeant Hoyt tonight?
I was gonna have a look around and see who else showed up, and he's gonna double check his PDA that he's been pointing in Matt's general direction. He's gonna give it a weird look and go, huh, and put it back in his pocket. So, how long have you been in the know?
Not too long, but it feels like too long.
Yeah. He's just gonna rub his forehead for a minute. You can kind of see the tiredness bleed through the friendly for a minute, and he's just gonna put the face back on and be like, "Yeah, it's been a busy month."
Yeah. There's unfortunately the park. Yeah, I don't know what went on there. The thing around Halloween, however,
Oh, the terrorist attack.
or leave
Yeah.
yeah, terrorist.
Oh no, it still counts as a terrorist attack. Just because they were inhuman monsters doesn't mean they're not terrorists. It's just definitions. It's all blurry after a while.
Terrorism generally seems to have trying to force them to a point through fear, terror. These guys did seem to have a point.
Well,
I'm aware of.
I'm still not sure entirely what they were. We're working on it. Got some of the boys back in.
What I understand, they're not all the beings like them are part of the same kind of those political faction, as you said. They have their own factions, from what I understand. Then there's the good ones who aren't raging assholes, and then there's the ones who are just raging assholes.
Well, good news. I can tell you they're terrestrial. It's just gonna smile at that.
He just kind of puts his hand on Operator 5's shoulder and goes, "Yeah, they're Satan worshippers.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Supernatural Satan worshippers."
That would not surprise me.
My context, let me know. See, I'm not touching obviously early stages of relationship, and we're talking to Hoyt, so it's just but that kind of shit just won't end. Unfortunately, looking into the park stuff, too much heat. I couldn't.
Yeah, it's just I was gonna go over the data on that one, but then we had a terrorist attack, and it just kind of took up all my time, resources, and everything.
Let's go back in and talk to the others. Well, see how the evening goes.
Okay.
Yeah, Jericho's probably going to be covered in barbecue sauce.
While this conversation has been taking place, apparently the sergeant has been making his way to give his voice of support to the caterers. The tall African-American gentleman in Jericho pretty much serving out the barbecue. Hit the gloves as well as his sleeves of the button-up suit are covered with barbecue and the like. Oh, what is Hoyt doing? Hoyt, I should say.
So yeah, Hoyt, as he approaches, is I'm not exactly sure on the tall gentleman there, but is there any magical illusion or effects going on to disguise what he is doing or what he is, or?
I will say one thing. I do not blue look any active effects on my character, so I just act like there are none, so take that as it is. However, I'm going to go ahead and say that the arcane effect will be less effective on the Mind of the Fallen. Sound fair?
Yeah.
Alright, fair dues. Yeah, no active effects on Jericho.
Okay. No problem. So yeah, I'll come to the back and well, thank you for bringing this food. I didn't really expect to. I guess I should have put a potluck request or something. I wasn't actually impressed with how many people showed up this evening.
Yeah. I was looking at the flyers. You didn't actually put in that many to bring in this sort of crowd, or maybe you've been I don't know, working the social media. That yes, hi, my name is Jack.
Hey, Jack.
A handout to you after
He'll,
removing the glove.
He'll take your hand and give you a fairly firm handshake for being as old as he is. I'm not sure what you mean by social media. You mean like coffee houses and newspapers?
That and internet, Facebook, Google, that kind of
Oh,
thing.
no, I don't go on the interwebs and my face and all that crazy stuff.
Jericho's going to go ahead and back away from the serving table just a bit. He won't go very, very far. He's well in view of most of the congregated members of this particular community. He's leaning against the wall just a bit and simply says, "So, Mr. Hoyt, what? I know what inspired you to go ahead and have this little meeting, but I'm extremely interested in you. Do you mind if I ask you some questions?"
Um, well, by all means, I'll. Usually, it's been a long time since a young punk like yourself has been interested in hearing old tales from an old man.
You'd be surprised the kind of stories I hear from supposed old people. Yeah. So, Mr. Hoyt, how long have you been in the city?
I grew up in New York, actually.
Oh, really? I'm a new resident. I actually come from overseas, across the pond, as it were.
Well, I've done a lot of traveling, but no, the Hoyt family's been here in New York for quite a while.
Yeah, that's fairly interesting. What do you do, Hoyt?
Well, I'm retired. I never made it high enough up in the military for a reliable pension to pay my retirement with bikini-clad youngins surfing and water skiing. So I volunteer and do some work at hospital as a entertainer.
Oh, you're an entertainer for what kind of people? Hospital or hospice? Because I know those are two very, very different lines of work. Excuse me? Hello? Did I disconnect?
No, I can hear you. Um, I know that operator 5 disconnected and is reconnected. So,
Jake!
Sergeant White's player? Sure.
Jake! Alright. Fair dues. Let's just say that Hoyt is briefly interrupted by a few of the PED, and they have a little bit of a conversation to themselves. Jericho just going ahead and getting to know the people around him, the supposed people that he could call 911 and make the neighborhood a little bit safer by keeping his eyes out, by reporting in.
The point of this is to encourage like formation of like a neighborhood watch or more linking between neighborhood watches.
Mm-hmm.
Well, part of the point. And they was that. So I'm actually Charlie will spend some of the time talking with people like there's representatives of different neighborhood watches and people are interested in getting involved because he has actually a bit of a background in this. And I just wanted to summarize up with just a charisma leadership role. Just basically get people networking and talking to each other.
Yeah.
So, and 1, 2, 4, 5 successes.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, that's whether we're recording that he's properly DC'd or not. Don't know. But 5 successes should getting people more involved.
It says we're still recording, but he did just drop.
Oh,
Welcome
welcome
back,
back.
Jared. See, I disconnect, and he disconnects, because it's what all the cool kids are doing.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm back.
Welcome back. Jake, Sergeant Hoyt would notice as the rest evening goes on, there's another guy moving through the crowd, hasn't spoken to me yet. Sure when he arrived. He just kind of there after you said your speech. Because he's more apparent now. If at any point you go over listening, Charlie's talking to various different people from different neighborhood watches and different things, and people who want to get involved in neighborhood watches, and he's giving advice. I just roll his vote, and this is and get people more involved in protecting themselves.
Jericho, for his part, is simply working the room. Talking to people, getting some contact information. He's going to use this as a, let's throw some dice at this. Charisma and expression for this one. Nope. He's not as persuasive as he want to be. Apparently his arcane is getting in the way, making him less noticeable to people.
Yeah, Operator 5 is just being pleasant and handing out barbecue to people. Not bothering to try and talk people into anything, because when they look away, they're going to forget what and who he is. They're just going to remember the tall black man.
All right. Well, before my internet so rudely kicked me out, I was at the table thanking those of you who were there for catering. And Mr. Jericho was engaged in conversation to try to find a little bit more about me. So if the other two have come back in, then I will. So I notice Matt, you said, walking through the crowd.
Yeah, he's talking with different people, and just if you listen at any point, he's encouraging them to get involved in the various neighborhood watches and the different neighborhood watches for different neighborhoods, giving them ideas about how to basically link in and share information more easily and more securely.
Okay, excellent. And the gentleman at the table with his tall sidekick, I'll also thank you for volunteering to bring this food and supporting this endeavor.
Who are you talking to about the food and the endeavor?
That'd be Operator 5.
Operator 5. Yep.
Yeah, he'll, pull the new glove off his right hand and reach over to shake your hand, and that's when I'm going to have to do a dice roll.
Okay.
Give me a second for Dexter to come up. But yeah, he'll go, oh, it's no problem. I run a ice cream parlor a couple blocks down, so we tend to keep an eye on things, me and Tony here. And, the tall gentleman just nods and says good evening and goes about handing him more barbecue. Probably starting to get low at this point.
Well, it's really refreshing to see a young lad like yourself having this kind of level of involvement. Usually they're all distracted by the pinball games down at the arcade, so it's good to see that you're out and about doing something.
I finished my education earlier than most, so I kind of, that's when his pocket starts beeping.
Does it ever?
Yeah, it kind of, just hold on a second. Pulls the thing he was scanning Charlie with earlier, kind of looks at it. Kind of points it towards Hoyt, hits a button, looks at Hoyt again, and you can see the gentleman standing next to him's posture kind of shifts. He goes, yeah. Oh, yeah, we've all got to, and he puts the device back in his pocket. We've all got to, look out for the neighborhood and make sure everybody's all right. We can get Queens cleaned up a little more. We can keep, the riffraff out, we can
Well,
probably
yes.
start helping the other neighborhoods out.
Well, if more young guys like yourself would reach out and help the community instead of becoming part of the problem, then that would be very helpful for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
I've been thinking about
everybody
starting
out
an
there,
outreach.
somebody else's mother or sister or daughter that's ends up being the victim.
He just smiles and nods. Do you want an empathy check, man?
Pardon?
Do you want an empathy check?
Yeah, I can give that a shot here. So, one success.
Yeah, he's faking it so hard right now. But he's nodding and smiling and being polite and carrying on to chit chat, but all of a sudden he doesn't want to be here.
Was that your phone? Is your parents? Do you need to go and go home and look after your parents, or?
Oh no, that's fine. It's just an alarm. It goes off sometimes.
Oh, okay.
He's smiling pleasantly, and yeah, he has the innocent and sanctity merit, so he's obviously of no harm. He's being friendly. Just a nice young man. And when you turn your head, you're gonna start to forget what he looks like.
Or will I? I'll move on and start moving through the crowd as well to get to know some more of the people in the community. And again, just as Matt is trying to meet up with what kind of community watches and figure out, how organized they already are in protecting the neighborhood.
And when he turns and starts to walk away, Operative 5 is going to look at his associate, raise his eyebrows, pat his hip, go outside to the ice cream truck, open the passenger door, reach between the seats, pull out his Glock, put it in the concealable holster. He's going to pull his Omni tool out, put it against it, and press a few buttons. Then he's going to put the concealable holster back into its place in his vest, and he's going to walk back in. And if you're using Discern, that spot where the holster is glowing like a Christmas tree, Kevin. If you're using Prime Sight, it's glowing like a Christmas tree.
Charlie's going to head straight over to Operator 5, but he's still back in, but like he's got some doodad.
He's just going to be handing out barbecue again, continuing to be pleasant and friendly with people. But every now and then he's just going to look at Hoyt.
Charlie's going to give him a slightly concerned look, because he would have been keeping a bit of an eye on the two guys. Like, oh yeah, they have a conversation. He leaves and he comes back with something weird. So it's like, just kind of goes like, everything okay?
Talk about it later. I'm just going to wave him off and hand him another thing of barbecue.
He'll take it.
There it is. Jericho will, after walking the room, will try to come back to the sergeant and simply say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted and walked off." What were you saying again?
Oh, sorry, lad. I don't know. You know what? It's my memory, honestly, is nowhere near as good as it used to be. I feel like I have forgotten half of my life. What were we talking about?
You were going into you had some story to talk about your stay in service, actually.
Oh, yes. Well, I I guess, some people are cut out to be career soldiers, and some, get nice cushy desk jobs, and some of us are stuck fighting out on the front line our whole life, with, protecting the homeland so that people can sleep nice and cozy at home while we have fire raining down from the sky all around us. But, if it wasn't for people doing that, I guess others wouldn't have the life that they have now.
Interesting enough. What conflicts were you involved in, actually? Just so that I know what to look for.
Well, I served in Germany, and served a little bit. It was when I enlisted near the end of that war, and I served in Korea, and I've did a little bit of Vietnam before I got too old to serve anymore, and I've seen a little bit of action in the Middle East as well. So I've kind of been all around.
So you've got a varied career. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but don't really have much to show for it nowadays, so I do what I can.
Well, that's not to say you don't have anything to show for it. You have a fantastic wealth of experience, and people look up to you. I mean, if people didn't, look at this mass of people. They wouldn't have come here. You've done something good. Maybe a small something good, but it'll make a difference.
Well, start small, it'll get bigger. So yeah, no, and it's been really inspiring to see young gentlemen like yourself and the other boys that have brought snacks and food. It'd be nice to find a way to reach out to the youth of the community and inspire them to do more with their lives.
Myself, I happen to be, a bit of a technician. I should say that sometimes I get contracted out by local PD to look at a few different things myself. During my early education, I was going to be a doctor of sorts, but personal matters interrupted my education, and I sort of fell through on that. I still have a lot of the skill base there, but they won't let me touch live bodies.
Oh. Yeah, well, sometimes we all get stuck having to clean up the dead afterwards.
Oh, it seems like a rather morbid subject, but sometimes it has to be done. There's a lot of fallen people around here, a lot of needless casualties.
Yeah.
Needless
Well, and that's why
violence,
it's important
needless.
to keep the neighborhood strong so that everybody bands together. Because what we can all accomplish together as a species is far beyond our wildest imaginations.
Interesting enough. Let me give you a number to reach me by. You seem like a swell sort, and Jericho will go ahead and take a pen, piece of paper, and write down the number to a burner phone, hand over to Hoyt, just in case you see anything.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, Jack. He pulls out a well-used old daytimer and flips to the J section and pulls out a ballpoint pen and writes his name and phone number into the book. I'll keep that in mind. If it's nice to have connections and with somebody who has contact with police. I mean, sometimes it takes somebody who knows somebody to help make things happen.
Sure enough, sure enough. You have a good night, Mr. Hoyt.
You as well, Jack.
We'll go ahead and wander off.
Yeah. I'll continue mingling. And I didn't sense anything about Matt, so unless Matt senses something about me, we're probably just walking past each other with friendly
He
smiles.
does. He does. He saw Operator 5's reaction, so he's like, okay, something's going on here. Maybe it was a politics thing. Maybe there's something else going to it. So he's gonna wait a while and see if Operator 5 interacts with you a bit more or what before he approaches you. Just kind of like he's staying back, observing you a bit more for a moment. Actually, I would like to roll to get a bit of insight into why your character is, well, why he's like, does he have nefarious ends that my character can see? So just doing a perception empty roll.
Okay. On my character? If you're doing a perception and empathy on Harris Hoyt, the difficulty would be one less than normal.
Okay. 2 successes.
Okay.
Like
no
the malevolent and mind reading, so.
He seems actually genuinely pleased and impressed with the turnout of the evening.
Right. And I was just watching him like interacting with crowds and stuff. Actually, I'd like to roll. I won't get as many dice because it's do specific things. Get more of a bead on what the hell is going on with Operator 5 because he seems spooked now. So just I don't get my socially aware's dice. He's just watching Operator 5 a bit. 3 successes. Get a beat on what the hell's going on with him because he was, until he spoke with Hoyt, he wasn't bringing in he had a bit of weird stuff, but he's upscaled the amount of weirdness, and he's even out rolling. There's a bit of a different vibe coming off him now.
Yeah, he's calmed down a bit now, but it's kind of obvious that he and his associate, besides watching the crowd and talking to people, they're keeping an eye on Hoyt and how he's interacting with people. That's about it. But 05's been spooked.
Okay.
You know the way a cat tends to react when a dog comes into the room and it's a dog they don't know? Kinda like that.
I just don't want the cat to become an asshole and start taking swings at the dog who hasn't done anything wrong.
You don't swing with a Glock.
So our mingling carries on for a while. People are starting to, the crowd's starting to thin a little bit as people are heading back home. And are you guys serving barbecue right till the end?
Oh, I'm sure we run
I
out
think there'll be
long before then.
we'll run out long before then. We'll start to break down our setup.
It is just an ice cream truck. It's not an extra dimensional space. I can only keep so much barbecue in there at a time.
You don't have a magic barbecue just spitting food out at the back?
No, that's a lot of time and effort. You have any idea how hard it is to build a replicator? I could walk you through.
No problem. So you guys are breaking down tables and whatnot. You know what? You guys have been helpful, so I'm going to volunteer to help pack up your tables as well. I'm not as frail as I look.
Thomas will just smile and go, nah, it's all right. We're just going to pack everything up and hose it down when we get back to the office tonight.
Are you sure?
Yeah, besides, we have to make Jericho do something.
Still grinning ear to ear, but into forced laughter.
Yeah. Thomas and Tony. And Thomas is basically going to rope Jericho into helping, and he's going to start wiping things down and packing up the table, toting them out to the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Surely will pitch in without being asked, but he'll be a bit wary if he doesn't know what's going on at the moment. Things have changed. He doesn't know exactly what.
So probably around this time, Kyle shows up.
As they're finishing.
They're finishing up. God. Probably, greets several of the people he knows locally.
Yeah, actually, Cameron, this is what you see. Of the people that are leaving, some of them come from blue-collar backgrounds, some of them come from low-income backgrounds, and there are one or two representatives of the local PD. Whoever sent these people, they're freaking genius.
And, Kyle probably still knows some of them.
Oh, yeah.
So, just sort of, looks around at everyone, says hello to the couple people he knows. It's like, hi, Nissa was too busy working on something. Oh well, kind of see what was going on.
Matt will just be talking to people, but the two of them will pass by complete strangers in the night because you're the one fucker here who doesn't register to me.
Well, and I see there you have a little bit of fame, so I presume that means you're going to kind of gather a little bit of attention as you walk in.
Between that and another background I've got, yeah.
Okay, so as you're bringing attention to yourself, then I'll make my way through the crowd to introduce myself to whoever the stranger is that everybody seems excited about arriving. Elderly gentleman in military.
Kyle's in his mid to late 20s, dressed in the sort of thing where when you've got a lot of money but you don't want to put on airs.
Okay.
It was like dressed in very good clothes, but very good clothes that aren't ostentatious. And most of the people who know him also largely seem to know each other. And he kind of looks over at probably looks over at
all the other players here are coming up, but yeah, the side chat really says it.
Yeah, it's just like looks around. Ooh, it was like it just sort of glances at 05 and blinks. Looks around everyone. Looks around the place.
Oh, good evening, young lad. Looks like you didn't quite meet the bulk of this gathering, but it appears you're already a pretty friendly neighbor to a lot of these people.
Yes. Kind of run a local makerspace, helped some local families out with some financial difficulties, and I have put together one or two scholarships, so people like me.
Well, that's good. You're already providing scholarships. This is very fortuitous. A lot of you young lads that have been coming this evening are much more involved with the community than I've heard that men your age normally are.
Well, I've always believed in giving back to the community.
Well, I can share that sentiment. Obviously, I have served served my whole life, it feels like, to protect the people at home. He holds out his hand. I am Sergeant Hoyt.
You know,
I
and
was
just he
organize
seems,
this gathering.
he's only very slightly hesitant, but shakes the hand and says, I'm Kyle Farber. Kyle Farber.
All right, Mr. Ferber. Well met. So, are you involved in any of your local community watches, or?
Not so much the watch. I think some of the guys at the Makerspace are involved. I mostly just run the Makerspace we've got.
The makers phase?
Oh, right. You're older. You're probably not familiar. Basically, makers are a very interesting group of people that have popped up with the advent of easy access to the internet, although they were kind of there beforehand. People who make interesting stuff, sometimes they end up selling it to corporations or making money off the patents, but largely they're just in it to make useful things.
So they're inventors. You're an inventor.
Yes. I mean, my PhD is in materials science, and that's pretty much the field.
Okay. I'm not 100% on what kind of stuff you use material science for, but I assume it's like...
Okay, I've heard about the new stuff they're developing off in, I think it was in Stanford, where they're coming up with a solar panel that you can on.
No, can't say I am aware of that, but...
Well, that's the sort of thing we do.
Okay. No, I think when they started dealing with electrical cars was when I stopped being caught up with inventions. So.
No, I've got a Tesla. It's quite nice.
I can fix up a Ford if it breaks down.
Well,
but not them Japs cars though. I don't understand all that metric stuff.
That's okay. Fair enough. Well, eventually, hopefully, we'll get the country actually using it.
Well, that's I mean, if I had more of a retirement fund, that sounds like the kind of thing that I would try to support. Because I mean, the more amazing things you youngins can come up with, I think the greater this world will be, even if I don't quite understand it all.
Well, if you have a bit of discretionary fund for investment, one place. Oh no, wait, they haven't done public yet. Yeah, actually, a lot of the really good ones that are looking like they are likely to pay off in the future haven't really gone public. Sorry. But it's at the very least worth keeping an eye and an ear to things.
Alright. Well, I appreciate any help or anything that you can give. We're just trying to make sure people are keeping the lines of communication open as neighbors, so that anything dangerous happens. Like, I mean, there was the library that caught fire, and the maulings at Central Park, and now whatever freaky serial killers hanging bodies from the lampposts. I mean, it's not as safe of a city as it used to be, so we need to band together to help out.
I've heard that several times before.
Well, I haven't. I'll be honest. I haven't been that involved with the community up till recently, but between personal inspiration and a friend of mine who seemed very obsessed with the idea, it just kind of seems like something to do.
Yeah, he nods, sort of glances over and at O5's direction. And, also over at Austin's character's direction, whose name I forget.
Name tag Jericho.
Yep.
I'm gonna need
your
you.
name tag.
I'm gonna need you perception Nick, because that's there's less people here. The only way I'm gonna pick you out is perception empathy right now.
Yep.
Through how you're interacting with people and who you're keying in on. However, because there's good few people here and just specifically draw me to you, I'm gonna actually put the difficulty at 8 voluntarily.
Yep.
And that's a botch. I haven't noticed you at all. You don't exist.
It's like, I don't get him. He's just talking to that guy.
No, I haven't even noticed you're in the room.
It's like you have cloaking too.
Well, unfortunately, there's no barbecue left, but feel free to continue mingling, and
No, sure.
we can organize, maybe have a better organized event sometime where we can have it earlier in the day and have fun activities for the kids in the park or something.
Well, it's always useful that. There's plenty of parks around here. I'll keep an eye out.
Alright. And I'll continue on to mingle around. Is O5 still paying like creepy stalker attention to me, or?
No, it's not his first surveillance job. He trades off with Tony.
Okay.
I believe that after most of this stuff is broken down and back in the back of the ice cream truck, Jericho's going to go ahead and says his goodbye to his friends and proceed to wander off.
Before Jericho leaves the ice cream truck, Operator 5 is going to grab him by the bicep while he's pointedly not facing Hoyt, and he's going to mouth one word. Nafandi. And then he's going to go about his business.
Jericho is... Well, after that, Jericho is simply going to walk calmly away, very calmly away to his bicycle. He's going to jump onto his bike. His hands shaking quite visibly to anybody who happens to be around. Start the bike and proceed to drive off, maybe a little bit too quickly in the first shot.
I'm keeping an eye on Operator 5 and how he's reacting. He has a quiet word with Jericho, and to see Jericho he just like leans in, whispers something low to him, and then Jericho just starts walking to his bike, and he's plainly trying to keep the internal freak out on the inside.
Yeah, I think I'm going to roll perception empathy on to catch that.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. It's my empathy and perception. There it is, 5 dice. Well, I definitely catch some of that. It's like,
So yeah, Matt's gonna go back over to Operator 5 because he's like, okay, I need to know more for Hoyt, or there's something else going on. It might not be Hoyt, but there's something else fucking going on that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, by that point, Operator 5's probably in the back of the van packing things up.
And he's just kind of going up to Operator 5, and he's just looking around and going like, okay, what the fuck? Jericho bolted after you spoke to him. What's going on?
Get in the truck.
He'll actually get in the truck.
Yep. Kyle's
He'll
actually heading over that way.
Yeah, he'll shut the door behind Matt.
And I was like,
look at-
oh.
Yeah, he'll look at him and go, yeah, that guy reads off a lot like the things I had to deal with during my last assignment. They're not good news.
Which guy?
Hoyt. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen anybody or anything like him before.
Yeah, he's just gonna kind of rub his neck and go, yeah, how much do you know about what goes on?
More than I'd like to, but enough to try to keep things in check.
Okay.
Vampires, devils, spirits, etc., etc. Although there's 1,001 names, they're all just labels.
Yeah, devils and devil worshippers. That's the best way I can put it.
It conveys the concept a lot quicker than, well, I don't know what all these things call themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know the word Nefandi, do you?
No. You just look at it.
Yeah, he's got a face palm and go, yeah.
So, probably at this point, Kyle sort of knocks on the door. Like,
And Operator 5 is going to reach up to his left ear, like he's pressing into his eardrum, and go, Tony, who's knocking on my door? And outside, the tall gentleman who's talking to people is going to turn, look at the ice cream truck, and kind of cough into his hand and say, Ferber. And then Thomas is going to open the door and go, hi, Mr. Ferber, how are you doing? Have you met Mr.
Matt. Actually, that's
Matt?
the thing. This is where it's going to get weird, because Matt's taking out his notepad, and he was writing down Nefandi ? And he's, like hoping to get more information. On the back of the notepad, Kyle's going to see a symbol. That means...
and
that means
Kyle
healer.
says, oh, hello, and Thomas is your character's cover name, right?
No, actually, you would probably just know him as Op.
It's like, oh, hey, Op, and and he just, looks at Matt and goes, oh, and hello, I'm Kyle.
Well, hello
off
there,
his
Kyle.
hand.
Shakes the hand. He's looking at Operator 5 because he thinks this guy's like Tony. He thinks this guy's another one of your assistants who might be somewhat in the know, but they're not supernatural.
He's like, so, turns back to Ops, like, I haven't seen you in a while. You look a bit different.
It's been a busy month. To be entirely honest, I haven't been getting enough sleep.
Oh, how did that one alloy you wanted me to help you with work out?
Oh, it's a great superconductor. Yeah, Mr. He's gonna look at Matt and go, Mr. Ferber runs the local maker's space.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. He just turns to Matt and says, I'd be happy to bring you on over. If you can see what sort of innocent fun we can get up to.
Yeah, unfortunately, dropping the word innocent means nothing amongst hunters.
True, but,
There's like 1,000,000,001 names for each type of hunter. He's just like, yeah, I'm more of a DIY guy myself, but I like to expand into areas.
No, actually, a lot of us are kind of DIY guys, and well, you know, if you get it's not a sort of place you can really get until you've been to one.
If you want, I can swing by there on the way back to the ice cream parlor and drop you guys off.
Sure.
And he'll look at Matt.
Yeah, Matt will kind of think, and he'll be putting the notepad away inside the jacket, and yeah, he's kind of looks like, yeah, this guy Caesar is like, you just kind of like, yeah, let's get him away from whatever the fucking Fandy is. Kind of look at his face, like, yeah, come on, hop in.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Hop will reach out and help Mr. Ferber into the truck.
And you know,
And
says, thanks. I'm just glad no allergies this time of year.
yeah, he's gonna close the door and tap his ear again and go, "All right, Tony, we're packing up." And the tall gentleman's gonna walk over to the driver's side door and get in. And Thomas is just gonna throw him the keys.
It's like, so, that, Sergeant Hoyt was an interesting person.
He's just gonna nod and smile.
Yeah, I don't know, kind of a bit odd though.
Yeah, I kind of got that feeling from him.
By the way, Matt, are you based out of Queens?
No. Came in for the occasion, kind of overlapping interests. I like to support community watches and things like that, and a few other side interests. I'll keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
Too much these days.
Have you got a way to get in touch with Jericho?
I do.
Great, because he never gave me a contact number. Tell him we need to coordinate. He needs to stop by the parlor sometime.
Yeah, sure. Whatever stuff you guys get up to.
Appreciate it.
I'll ask him if it's okay to share the contact detail.
I don't need the number if you just pass the message along, but swing by. He knows where it is. He used to come there like 5 times a week.
Fair enough, it's just an email anyway.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Mike, did he show you the footage I gave him of that college prank?
No?
No. The address is on the card. I'll have that ready for you the next time I swing by.
Okay.
And Tony will start the engine and drive us along.
Yep.
All right. And since all the special guests have left, I will finish tidying up and thanking those that came to the evening, and made some potential contacts so that maybe we can hold another session like this again in the future. And looks like the scene's winding down, so thank you guys who have come into view, and we will see you again throughout the days or nights of Living World of Darkness, New York. Have a good evening, or morning, or day.